Hello, I'm Sarah. I'm the manager at Denny Abbey and the Farmland Museum, and I'd like to tell you a bit about volunteering with us. As a museum with just 4 members of staff, we really do rely on volunteers to keep the doors open and to deliver an exceptional experience for our visitors. So, who are we? The Farmland Museum is a museum of fenland farming and life, and we're a registered charity in Cambridgeshire. We share a site with English Heritage's Denny Abbey, which we manage on their behalf. We're based just off the A10, near Waterbeach between Cambridge and Ely. The Farmland Museum is made up of over 10,000 artefacts housed in former farm buildings and in our outdoor spaces. Our displays show elements of life in the fens in the past, with things from a village, such as a village shop and a dairy, sitting alongside a really big collection of agricultural machinery. There's a few tractors, including one that children can play on. And then there's Denny Abbey, which shares the site. This was established over 800 years ago by Benedictine monks, then lived in by the Knights Templar and Poor Clare nuns before finishing life as a farmhouse, which is what connects it to the museum. It's an incredible mosaic of architectural styles and a fascinating insight into local history. We tell the stories of everyone who lived on the site, from the nuns to the farm workers, and we preserve artefacts to continue telling that story to future generations. We rely on volunteers to help us do that. Volunteers are essential to everything we do. We could not function without them. If you think of any aspect of involved in running a museum, we can have a volunteer help us with it. Volunteers join us to learn new skills or to use the skills gained over their career. We really can put any and all skills to use. Our visitors tell us that our volunteers make a huge difference to their visit and make them feel exceptionally welcome. What do our volunteers do? Well, they sell tickets, they help with school visits, they clean and conserve artefacts and displays, they fix and repair our site, they deliver guided tours to visitors, they support our cafe team on busy event days. Some volunteers make sure the allotment and the cottage garden are always looking good. And for those volunteers who can only volunteer just once in a while, we welcome support on our big event days throughout the season. If you volunteer with us, we really will set you up for success. All volunteers receive a full induction and can shadow staff or other volunteers until they're ready to go it alone. We offer on-site training, but volunteers can also take advantage of external training courses as part of our museum. We are a seasonal museum, open March to October, and we have a regular volunteer day on a Wednesday all year round. Volunteers are welcome, though, to support us any day, Thursday to Sunday, while we're open to the public. And of course, there are admin tasks that can be done from home too. What do our volunteers say? Our volunteers tell us that they love being part of a team and meeting new people. They tell us that volunteering with us is not a chore, but a great way of sharing with others a communal sense of purpose. One of our volunteers tells us that one of the great things is that the scale of the place means that you can see just how what you're doing is making a difference, and he couldn't recommend it highly enough. And then one of our collections volunteers tells us that he's had great scope to help define and drive forward the major project that we're undertaking, and it's great to be able to use his initiative and particular skills, and he gets a real sense of achievement out of it. The feedback from our volunteers is consistently positive, and it's clear that they do feel a sense of achievement and purpose through helping and supporting the museum. Of course, helping the museum is the biggest perk for our volunteers, but we do like to give something back in return. Volunteers get free admission to the museum and a discount in our cafe and shop. After a certain length of time, volunteers are entitled to an English Heritage volunteer membership. There's plenty of tea, coffee and biscuits for everyone, and sometimes cake. And we hold an annual summer party as a thank you. Last year it was a quiz and barbecue. So, would you like to know more? Speak to me today or drop me a line at the email address here. We're also holding an in-person volunteer recruitment day on Saturday the 15th of March if you'd like to come along and find out more. Thanks for listening, and I hope you might be keen to learn more about the Farmland Museum and Denny Abbey.